Don't discount investing in someone to write your resume for you, an expert that has done this time, and all they do is write resumes. Because there's an art to it. There's an art form. It's formulaic, sure, but there's an art to it, and you want somebody that has that art ability to it, that's staying on top of what people are looking for in resumes and doing all the technical pieces, the things well on your resume, right? So don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Welcome back, folks. It's About Your Paycheck, episode 15. We're moving along here too, bro.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about getting started in the payroll field. But before we get in, I was about to go down there. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm great. Oh yeah, football weekend's been fun. Playoff weekend this weekend, so it's been cool to watch the games.
Nice.
Looking forward to today's games. And that's about it, man.
Yep.
We're talking about what I was thinking about, like when we prep for the show and whatnot. I was like, yeah, it's about your paycheck, but shoot, maybe you don't have a paycheck right now. You're not getting the paycheck right now, unfortunately. Maybe you're looking to get into a new field, right? This season, we're talking to young folks, and we're trying to get young folks interested in payroll and introduce payroll as a career, right? As a profession. Me and Walt have been successful and call it a career. Why not share some of those things with you all? And that's what we're going to talk about today, getting into payroll. But before that, we have some great news updates in the payroll world happening. Walt, you want to kick us off with the news update for today?
Yep. So the news update that I have is an article from Payroll.org. And it's a quick article discussing the U.S. Department of Labor, aka the DOL, and the fact that they issued a final rule that modifies how to determine whether a worker is an employee or an independent contractor under the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLISA or FLSA. So the DOL states that economic dependence is the ultimate inquiry, meaning that a worker is an independent contractor as opposed to an employee under the FLSA if the worker is, as a matter of economic reality, in business for themselves. The final rule, which adopts this proposed rule with a few modifications, will be effective on March 11th, 2024. The final rule also formally rescinds the 2021 rule.
That's big because we cover that a lot in the shows, right? We cover in True Payroll Crime how some companies try to get away with doing this and paying folks as a independent contractor when in fact they are not. I think one of the how they calling it, inquiries, or what is it's like a standard that I forget the words they use, but you have to meet certain criteria to be considered a employee or versus an independent contractor. One of the things that is easy for me is independent contractors dictate their own time, right? They, you know what, today I'm going to work 10 to 5, 12 to 8, whatever suits them and their deliverables, and they set their own rates. They dictate their own time like and you can't tell them what time to work and how to do. So there's a lot of that. If you have all this oversight, then it's nope, you're an employee. That's a good one. All right. Again, folks, we're going to get into getting started in the payroll field. What are some things that might get us excited? What's tips, best practices, anything like that? Walt is going to start us off, and we're going to get right into it.
This episode is presented by TrakGO, the simply better employee time clock software that is going to make your life easier. In addition to the unique graphical employee time card that helps you quickly identify and fix mistakes, TrakGO is excited to announce it's now compatible with QuickBooks Desktop, providing effortless data transfer and reduced errors. TrakGO will not only save you time and money each week, but the easy-to-understand user interface and the ability to turn an ordinary tablet into an employee time clock will get you and your team up and going in just minutes. Find out what a simply better solution can do for your business. To learn more and sign up for your 14-day free trial, go to www.timetrakgo.com. That's TIMETRAK go.com or call 888-321-9922. Let's go. All right. have 5 things that you could do or you want to focus on if you're just getting started in the payroll field and you want to eventually transition into that top tier talent. So number 1 is strategic skill enhancement. New payroll professionals aspiring to be top tier in the payroll industry should focus on continuously enhancing their skills, staying abreast or aware of the latest developments in payroll, technology, and industry trends to remain competitive and valuable in an ever evolving field, because as we know that payroll is always changing.
Yeah.
So you're always going to have to adapt and adjust your skill sets and learn as you grow. So that's one of the things, if you're just getting into payroll, you definitely want to make sure that you're always developing those skills and enhancing those skills.
Yeah.
Networking and mentorship. So you want to build a very robust professional network within the payroll community and HR community too, right? Seek mentorship opportunities when you can. That will help you gain insights from seasoned experts, and actively engage in industry events or online forums to exchange knowledge and experiences. So they have these payroll conferences and these HR conferences that are held, multiple conferences that are held throughout the year. And so you want to make sure that you attend those as you can, whether that's a webinar. And there's some free ones too, right? That people go to that say, hey, money's tight for you or whatever. You can go to some of these free ones and still build your network that way. LinkedIn has LinkedIn Learning and these different things that you can view on LinkedIn that might be free. So you want to check there as well. But you definitely want to build that network and become a mentor, a mentee if you definitely want to grow.
There's also local chapters. If you go to payroll.org, there you can get affiliated with your local payroll chapter, get involved. If you don't have a local one, start it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Number 3, it's get certified, get these updated qualifications that you have, invest in acquiring relevant certifications and qualifications in payroll. And these credentials are going to help you validate your expertise, but they'll also position you as a top tier payroll professional in HR payroll for employers seeking professionals with that strong foundation in payroll practices. So by you having a certification, there will be some people that look at that and say, oh, this person's certified, whether that's FPC, CPP, SHRM, whatever certification that you may want to get. You could aspire for that. Now, I will say that you can be successful in the payroll field without that. There are a lot of companies who would appreciate that being on your resume or on your professional profile. So that's something to consider and something to potentially think about if you're thinking about getting into payroll or something.
And there's also there's those official ones, and then there's also like classes. I had gotten a certificate. I got certified, but because I took like a 13-week payroll course at Queens College, and I got a certification at the end of it, and that shows professionalism. Like all these little things. It could be just classes. It could be I took a 3-month HR course or something like that. Especially now with schools, they're doing a lot of micro sessions, and you don't have to get so somebody just told me a friend of theirs got their master's in 9 months online college. You know what I mean? There's all these opportunities now, and someone on LinkedIn just posted all the Ivy League schools that put out little micro courses and stuff like that. These little things it just helps rack up. What I was gonna say, it gives credibility, right? It gives you credibility if you have your because me and Walt don't have our CPP yet, and we're still successful because we know the stuff, right? It's one of those things, you get the experience, and we have this debate all the time, probably, what it does for payroll folks, what it doesn't do for you. At the end of the day, if you're, it shows that you're serious about stuff. It shows that, because they've been talking about how college degrees aren't what they used to mean anymore. And honestly, college, it just shows that you can start and finish something. That's it. I heard on the news recently that I think Google hired their first developer, no college degree.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. Yep. It happens. And it's going to start happening more now with the gig economy. And again, these big schools putting out these micro courses, it becomes less and less important. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're going down the rabbit hole, right? We all this certifications and
No,
qualifications.
but it is a topic that we have discussed, and I think that it was one of the safe talk episodes that we
Hmm.
talked about in the past, and because that's how big of a conversation that it was, and so yeah, it's fascinating. But the one thing that we can say that I think that we do agree upon is that no matter what that continued education looks like for you,
Yes.
did you need to continue
Yes.
to educate yourself
That's
and
it.
learn, whether that's through a certification or
Yep.
the one-off classes like Brian mentioned or whatever, or a free course somewhere. That
Find your
continued
free stuff. Yep.
education is going to help you out in the long run. You got to do what's best for you. Number 4, you want to embrace innovation, embrace technology. These payroll systems, they're enhancing themselves. It seems like every time you look around, somebody's doing something with AI,
Yep.
these learning things, these self-learning programs and stuff. And as these technologies, these payroll systems and HR systems are improved and enhanced, we'll have to improve and enhance
Yeah.
ourselves as well. And we can do that by embracing these things. Again, I think we said on another show that it's AI and technology shouldn't be seen as an enemy.
No.
They should be seen as an ally. So
Yep.
that's how we're going to help ourselves grow and not reject what is going to happen in the payroll field. And then number
Absolutely.
5, last one I have, you want to brush up on those leadership and communication skills. Now, if you're just getting started in the payroll field, you may not have any direct reports. That still doesn't mean that you can't
It's all
tune
out.
up those
Yep.
leadership skills and build up on those communication skills, like because you're still, no matter what level of payroll you're at, you're still a leader in the industry to someone. Someone is
That's right.
expecting you to lead them to a conclusion, whether that's the employee, your customer.
That's right.
You want to be able to have that leadership to lead them in the right direction, or somebody that you serve,
Great
right?
point.
So there's a different thing to think about when it comes to leadership. So you want to develop strong leadership and communication skills, aspire to improve not only to excel in technical aspects, but also in effective communication and collaborating with other teams, like cross-functional teams, right?
Hmm.
You want to be reliable as a team member who contributes significantly to becoming a good team player, and which will ultimately lead you to becoming a top tier talent. Because one thing that we can say, even if you work for a payroll shop that it's only one payroll person, you still have to work with other people in order for payroll to be perfect,
Absolutely.
or as close to perfect as possible. So
Accurate. Yep.
that's how you become top tier, because people are good. You're going to have to work with somebody else. So that is going to be something that's going to help you in the long run, is the leadership and communication skills, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so
Absolutely.
with that being said, I will pass the baton back over to you, Brian, so you can go over your list.
Yeah. And just it made the last point you made, communication, leadership skills, right?
Yeah.
You're leading a process. You're leading a process, right? Some people are managers, but they don't manage people. They're managing a process.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's one of the most important processes at a company. And everybody has payroll. And if you're, what's the word I want? Independent, exclusive. If you only do payroll, then the company's probably pretty big, right?
Hmm.
There's a good opportunity in payroll. What I have found is you can, if there is no cross-functional team, and that's what made me think of it,
Uh-huh.
you can suggest them, and then you look like a leader, right? You're like, wow, that's a good idea. A payroll person wants a cross-functional team to talk to somebody from operations, or and maybe market, talk to the other stakeholders that have something to do with payroll because they may have problems, right? Put out a
Hmm.
survey. If you're already in the game, right? Put out a survey. Walt does this, and it's a beautiful thing that he does with his payroll team. Puts out these surveys to make sure his customers are happy,
Yeah.
right? And you get great response from those. Like some of these surveys, you happy to get hit 50%. Would you get like 80%
Hey,
response rate?
yeah. Hmm.
It's amazing. That's an amazing thing when your communication, right? Because they care about it. They want.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Ames, your host of Signals, a Starbold Studios production. I'm taking bold ideas and real challenges submitted by leaders like you and turning them into powerful conversation with actionable results. Some weeks, I'll react in just 4 minutes. Others, I'll bring on experts for deeper dives. So send up a signal and I'll throw you a line.
to tell you their pain points in payroll. So anyway, it's a great opportunity to
That's a
talk to
great
other
call out,
teams
man.
and
That's
build to
that's
what's up.
that's a great call out about the surveys, because lots of times when we think about communication, we think about us communicating out.
Hmm.
Communication works the one way, the other way
Only
as well.
works both ways.
You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't. Communication is not a one-way street.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
you have to take feedback in from your clients, from the people that you service and provide service for.
Yep.
Like you have to be able to listen to them. So great call out on that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just feeding off the information here. It's you get a great opportunity there again, just to to do cross functional work and show your boss and show folks, oh wow, he's thinking for the whole organization, right? How he's trying to make this better. And
No, you're right.
I got some things, right? Again, ideally you're getting a paycheck and you love the show because we help you.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
don't have a paycheck yet, or if you're young and you're not working yet, right? Boom, here we go. Or if you're going to change careers, you want,
Yeah.
or change jobs, even just looking for a new job, right? Maybe you're, that's the thing about payroll. We talk about this in the shows as well. In this game, it is a bit limiting because there are only a few spots for payroll people. If it's a big company, maybe it's only one. Sometimes it's hybrid. So my point is, you could reach the end of your rope very quickly in the payroll industry. 5 to 10 years, you could see yourself like, oh crap, I want to grow, but I've already maxed out my growth at this company, and that's okay sometimes, and that's all right. But if you need to make more, if you want to change, unfortunately, you gotta change, right? You gotta maybe have to change that up. Some companies are the size they are, right? It's not up to them to keep growing so that you can grow in your position. Companies are in business to make money. They need to
Yeah.
stay lean, right? If it's a company is a certain size, you may hit the top of that quicker than you want to, right?
Yeah.
Anywho, all that to say, if you're thinking about getting a new job or if you're looking to get your first job, these are some things to think about. You want to assess your skills and interests, right? If what do you like? What can you do well? What
Yep.
do you like?
Yep.
Then that'll give you some target, directionally correct.
Yep.
Update your resume and LinkedIn profile. I I think people discount how important LinkedIn is. I've gotten all of my jobs through LinkedIn, being on LinkedIn actively. And honestly, you don't even have to be that active to have a good profile, be out there and have some presence in LinkedIn. People bug out when they're like, oh wow, LinkedIn, you go on that for jobs. And I'm like, how do you not? You know what I mean? So update your resume. So resume, that's another key area. I know there's a lot of AI now that might be able to help a bit, but
Yeah.
don't discount investing in someone to write your resume for you, an expert that has done this time and that all they do is write resumes. Because there's an art to it. There's an art from this. It's formulaic, sure, but there's an art to it. And you want somebody that has that art ability to it, that's staying on top of what people are looking for in resumes and doing all the technical the things well on your resume, right? So don't be afraid. Invest in yourself. We've common saying we always say that invest in yourself.
Yep.
Walt covered it. Network, big networking is important. Use a job search engines. Indeed. Back when I was coming into the game, like looking for my first corporate, it was monster.com. I got mine on. Remember Monster?
Yeah. Monster, yeah.
I got my first payroll job off of through Monster because I was on Monster, LinkedIn.
It was Monster, Career Builder.
Yes.
.com.
Yep.
Yep.
There was
Those
another
sites,
one
yep.
with career in it, but I forgot. But Indeed is the new one of the day. Use job boards, use job sites. One of the things I tell folks is when you're looking for a job, you should be spending 8 hours a day looking for a job. If you don't have a job, you need to be spending the time looking for a job. Unfortunately, I had gotten laid off in my career. The only time I was working 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I was back. I was working again. Why?
Yep.
Because I literally went home that day and did not stop looking for work until I found work.
Yeah.
It's just you got to go hard or go home, right?
Yep.
Customize your application or resume. You could say also resume because you apply to things. I like customize your resume because sometimes you want to target it at something else. Like right now, I'm blessed to have HR and payroll, tiny bit of finance and under my belt. If I wanted to break off and do something specific, I may have to tailor my resume to target the HR that I want or target a payroll position that I want. And you can keyword your resume. It's not lying. You just re-keyword your resume properly. And again, if you're working with a writer, you can tell them, hey, I need 2 or 3 versions. So you tell them, we actually know a resume writer that we worked with in the past. I wonder if she'd come on the show one day. And because again, investing in yourself, prepping for interviews. That's another thing, folks, I think discount. Do a role play with somebody in your house. Somebody, if you don't have anybody, call somebody. Do a role play. Walk through it, like practice it out loud with things you're gonna say. Have questions. Because it shows that you did the research. Right? When you're in an interview, have questions. Like, what are you interested in this job or no?
It's like we said before in a different show. We said that the interview is part of if you think about the communication statement that we said earlier, it's 2 ways. Just don't sit there and just be like just getting all the questions asked. You want to ask them and make sure that they're a company that is up to your standards and the company that you want to work for, and they have good this and good that. And that's why you do your research according to what Brian is saying. Even before the interview, you should prepare. That's why it's prepare before, right?
Be proactive. Exactly. And we actually covered something on this, and it was like good questions to have. I forget what show it was on now, but we had a really good list of questions to ask a prospective company.
Yes, we do.
And it was good ones too. It was like, how is it doing? How is the company doing financially? You want to see the history and projections, because think about it. If the company's been steady declining, and they might be just, you might get the job and they're going to close a few months later. You know what I mean? Things like that. Your CEO. Oh, that was the other one. Did your company have a lot of CEOs? That shows instability. So things you don't even think about, bro. Oh my God, all this time I never even thought about that stuff.
Yes, bro. Yes.
This also makes me think of these stick figure cartoons that are out on TikTok that I love so much. It's the worker is Veronica and her manager. And Veronica is the bomb. She's the best ever they did an interview one where she's in an interview and she says, oh, by the way, I noticed that the job description's last line is and other duties as assigned, right? And that's a classic job title move because it gives the employer flexibility to do whatever they want with you, really. Once you're in the door, oh, you signed up, you took the job, and the last thing it says in the job duties is whatever else I assigned to you. And she questioned it in this little cartoon. She questioned it in the cartoon. Hey, what does that mean? Can you give me some examples? And the manager was being extra. And if the manager's this extra in the cartoon, then you definitely leave like she did. The manager was like, I can't really tell you because it's anything that we say, blah, blah, blah. And Veronica, the employee, was like, but just some examples so I understand the scope. Put me in the ballpark at least. Didn't want to do it. And that's a red flag.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a red flag. You know what I mean? I'm taking one job. You might turn around and just do anything.
Exactly.
But still, right? If you need, it depends on how much you need that job. Anywho, use it. Customize, prepare for interviews. Yes. So where we at right now? I covered assess your skills, update your resume, network, of course, use job engines, customize your resumes, prepare for interviews, consider temp work and volunteering work. People look at this. But listen, man, listen, especially if you're trying to break into new fields, right?
Yeah.
You've never done it before, but oh my gosh, it's my passion. I want to do this. I have to do this. And you can't find a way in yet, and you haven't been hired for anything yet. Temp work is easier, right? They give you get a more of a chance of getting the job with temp work. And volunteer. I know it sounds crazy, but if you really want something, volunteer. Internships, right? Another way to get in. All through this, you need to stay organized. Okay, that's a big key. If you're looking for work, and I remember at one point in that 2 weeks that I was looking for work, I started losing track of the recruiters that I was reaching out to, and oh crap, oh my god, who do I really? And I started to just make a list. When my good thing is you email a lot and you go through LinkedIn a lot, so you can look back at your messages and okay, it's this recruiter's for that job and this and that. man, I got to the point, I was so obsessed and persistent that recruiters started calling me for the same job. And I would be like, and now, because once you're working with one recruiter, that's it. They don't want to, you can't keep getting submitted by other recruiters. So I would have to tell them, like, guys, you're like the fifth person to call me on this job. I already applied for it. So stay organized, because if you don't know that, then you're going to have these recruiters getting mad and submitting you at the same job. They don't want that, because it's only the first one that gets the commission on. So learn new skills. If you're having trouble getting a job, now you did all these things and hit up a million recruiters, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Now it comes back to what Walt said about the certification and qualifications. Maybe you need to add a little skill on it. Maybe you need to just add a little, I took this Excel course. I got certified in Excel. The cool thing with LinkedIn Learning is you can post about it. I just finished this course on LinkedIn. I just finished this. Those are good things. One is showing that you're staying sharp. And two, you might hit a little skill that gets you hired. Because it's all about those keywords, right?
Yep.
Stay positive and persistent. Stay positive and persistent. Stay positive and persistent. I can't say it enough, because it's frustrating to look. It takes 3 to 6 months to find work, right? On a normal basis. It's not always 2 weeks. I was obsessed. I had a family. I couldn't be out of work. I had to get back to work. 2 weeks. It only took me 2 weeks. But when I'm moving within a job, if I'm okay, now you're happy, you want to move on, but you're going to keep your job, you're working while you're looking, that usually takes 3 to 6 months, because you're not obsessed about it. One, so you're not spending 8 hours a day looking for work, so it takes longer. And two, you might be comfortable and you're like, no, I'm waiting for the right opportunity, so it might take a little longer. So stay positive.
Hey, this is William Tincup. Listen, we did a series for iSolved called Heroes of HR, where we talk to HR practitioners. And these are just your run-of-the-mill, everyday, slogging it out, 300 employees in Cedar Rapids, HR pros. Mostly it's centered around iSolved and what they do with iSolved, but also they talk a lot about kind of the day-to-day rigor of HR. If you're curious about that, search for Heroes of HR wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you.
Another good thing is seek professional help if needed. And it means a recruiter, a coach, a resume writer.
So you're not saying therapist.
Oh, that's a good one too. Therapy, yes, absolutely. Mental wellness is important, folks. I think you might have been joking, but that's real. This is making you depressed. If you're going into a dark place because you can't find work, bro, folks, he, her, them, everyone, you get some help. Talk to somebody. There are definitely resources out there. You can talk to somebody. Yes. And stay positive, right? Stay positive and persistent. Seek professional help if you need it. Absolutely. And the last one is be open to new opportunities.
Yeah.
Be open. Especially young folks. I tell my daughter when she's looking for work, I'm like, who cares? Do something. Do anything. You don't know what you don't like yet. You never did it.
You never know. Yeah.
You never did it, right? You don't know. So it takes stuff. If you're hitting the wall, I can't get in this field. Go into another field. Just take something temporarily. It might get you out of a funk. It might, oh wow, your ideas get. But what do folks do, right? When you're stuck, go do something else, right? Go just read about something else, and then all the ideas start flowing, right? It's like the subconscious has room to work, and it's all right. We're not obsessed about this one subject anymore. Awesome. Right? Sleep on it, right? That's what they say. Yeah, folks, those are some of the things that we can do, you can do. If you're looking for work, if you're looking to get into payroll, come on and join us. It's a very exciting place to be. I love what David Turetsky says. It's the best place to be in an organization, HR and payroll, because you really do get exposed to the other parts of the job, and you can learn about a company very well through this position. There's always something to do. There's always something to learn. If you want to be excited and fast-paced, this is the place to be. There's also parts of the job where you can be a little introverted if you want, right? And you can pick some technical pieces of it that limits your exposure. You can, but payroll is evolving, and it's going to evolve more in the kind of communication way as
Yeah.
AI comes on. And I like how you called out the technology piece, embrace technology, because that's what we had the conversation right. As soon as AI started, people were like, oh my God, we're gonna lose our jobs. We're gonna do payroll. It's gonna do payroll for us. And it probably can and will. But it's like all the technology experts are saying we're 10, 20 years away from like AI doing things for us autonomously, independently, right? It can already, but human experience is not going to allow it for a while, right?
Yeah.
With that being said, we have time. Embrace, but they want to embrace the technology, right?
Embrace.
People want AI. It's the next best thing. The innovators are,
Yeah.
ooh, we need AI.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to do with it, right? It's up to us to figure out what we do with it. And that's why we, as payroll pros, as HR professionals, we're learning what is AI doing for the field, right? What is it doing for us right now? So we can fold it in. We can fold
Yeah.
it in. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's I think that's it.
Some great call outs, man. So great call outs that you
Likewise,
made
likewise.
on those. And I think if anything, you spoke to it though, but one thing I just want to emphasize is, especially for those of you who are thinking about transitioning to a payroll career, or you just got into the payroll field, another thing that you could do that's going to help you is being open-minded when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to other people, and realizing and understanding that you're going to interact and come to contact with people who have different personalities, different skill sets, just different people, and they may not understand it in the way that you understand it. They may do things in a different way than
Yep.
you do it. You have to be okay with them as long as they're not impacting the employees, they're not impacting the company, and they're getting their job done in an efficient manner. You have to understand that not everybody's going to be your friend. Not everyone is going to be friendly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to be open to allow people to be them. So that's one thing you have to understand. And another thing you have to do is be okay learning from your mistakes and owning it. And especially in the beginning of your career, I will tell on myself, because back then it was more fear mindset when I first started out. Okay, I don't want, so I would try to fix everything, fix all the problems without escalating it, because I didn't want to get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
My word of advice to you is to not do that. Own it. It's about ownership in this payroll world. So own it, the good and the bad. And those things are going to help you along in your career, in my opinion, because they have helped me when I started being radically transparent and sharing, like, hey, I messed up here, or I didn't know this, or I didn't know that.
Yep.
People appreciated it more. It's okay, hey, that's good.
Yeah.
What can we learn from this?
Yep.
Instead of like them finding out that I was trying to hide something,
Looks bad.
and then that's a bad look.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just my personal experience that I've gone through, and my advice to you if you're new in the payroll industry or you're thinking about getting into it.
It makes me think of, I had a boss that told me that with job security, he's like, you the only one knowing this is not job security.
Yep.
That actually, now I need to get rid of you so that I can get somebody that can share the knowledge.
And it's trustworthy.
And that's trustworthy, yeah, because it doesn't look good. And a lot of people are like that. Unfortunately, you have to come to me to do it. I'm important. This is job security. It's not actually. It's really not, right? I don't like
It's not.
working with folks like that.
You,
For me, it's plug and play, right?
yeah, you shouldn't feel as if a mistake, especially if it's not something that's common occurrence with you, and you're not just egregiously or just making mistakes every payroll like that. But it's a part of the payroll industry, right? That's why we have a payroll error rate,
Mm-hmm.
because we track that metric, right?
Yep.
And so you have to understand that payroll errors are going to happen, but you owning that and being willing to call it out and escalate it to your supervisor, like we said, it builds that transparency and it builds that trust between you and your leadership.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they found out that I tried to fix something, that I made a mistake or somebody else, and there was a time where I tried to correct somebody else's mistake, and I was trying to do the honorable thing and not escalate it so I don't get this person in trouble, and I ended up getting in trouble because
Yep.
I didn't escalate it.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
These are all experiences I've had in my earlier in my career when I thought I was okay. I thought I was doing the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't. No, we're going to be held accountable for our work.
Yeah.
We're going to be held accountable for the things we do. And in that moment, what I should have done is said, hey, you need to go let boss know that you did this.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, oh, I can fix it for you. I know how to fix it. Let me fix it for you. And then they
Then now
show
you look like you're
and
colluding.
yeah,
No.
and yes, and it looks like that, right?
Not good.
And one thing that somebody told me a long time ago that really helped me, they said, if you can't trust the people that are processing payroll for you, they shouldn't be working for you.
And and that's where I was going with this too. You have to
Yeah.
be trustworthy in payroll, and the way you get that is transparency. You know what I mean? You just be transparent. Luckily now that there's a lot of the systems have audit trails, so you can, if you work like that knowing everybody's going to know what you did anyway, and you'll be likely like easy to be more transparent.
As we near the end of this episode, we'd like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to you for listening. Before we sign off, here are a couple of quick things. Don't forget to follow It's About Payroll on LinkedIn and It's About Your Paycheck on Facebook and TikTok. We love engaging with our audience, and you'll be able to receive exclusive updates and behind the scenes content. Thank you for being a part of our payroll community, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.
Okay.
Oh man, I know people that were worse than that, worse than I did. They would go in because they had certain access and try to delete with their super admin access and try to delete the records from the back end and stuff. Like, it was crazy. I've seen people do that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. So yeah, folks, hopefully if you're in transition, if you're interested about payroll, reach out to us on LinkedIn. It's our biggest platform, or Facebook, where you probably see in this show is going to be on Facebook, the clips or whatnot. But yeah, reach out to us.
Let us know.
Get excited about payroll. We need you. We need young folks to get into payroll.
Yeah.
We are an aging bunch, and we need some young people to backfill this profession.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's worth it. Trust me, you can have a successful, fulfilling life in payroll, HR. You can definitely do it. So we're trying something new out. We are including Safe Talk and News Pods in our two main shows now. And so this next section is going to be a new segment, which is Safe Talk. We're going to use these last few minutes of this recording and talk about a topic. So today's topic is, our question of the day, I should say, is life is full of distractions, whether they're personal, professional, or political. How do we cope as people, payroll professionals? How do we do that in life? There's so many things going on, Brian. You look on the TV, you look on the news, wars.
Hey, I'm Katie Van Horn.
And I'm Jackie Clayton.
We're your hosts of the Inclusive AF podcast, where we take on DEI, leadership, and HR without all the corporate fluff.
That's right. We've got decades of experience, a lot of opinions, and zero tolerance for performative anything.
Every week, we dig into what it really takes to build inclusive workplaces with honesty, strategy, and a few side eyes.
We'll talk about the tough stuff, power dynamics, privilege, what's broken in the system, and how we can all do better.
And don't worry, it's not all heavy. We bring receipts, laughs, and real talk from people actually doing the work.
Think of it as your weekly dose of truth, tips, and a little tea to help you lead with intention and show up for your people.
So if you're ready to push past the buzzwords and get into the actual work of inclusion,
you're in the right place. So subscribe to the Inclusive AF podcast.
New episodes drop every week.
Catch us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll be here breaking it down one inclusive convo at a time.
Climate stuff in America, stuff overseas.
Yep.
Feels like the freaking presidential race, the election,
this
and that. There's so many things that are going on. The economy, the growing gap between wealth and poor, wealthy and poor, like all those things happen, and all those things can impact us in some particular way. You may be in the payroll professional, and you may have a family member who's overseas in a war zone or war-torn country right now,
For real.
and that could be impacting you, right?
Yep.
Like, how do you cope? How do we cope, Brian, with all these distractions in life and still be able to function and do our job in payroll or HR?
Balancing act. For me, it's a balancing act of things. I live by the motto: treat triumph and defeat just the same. They're both
Yes.
imposters, just the same. Don't
Yes.
go too high, don't get too low. And to the point where Walt sometimes is like, oh man, you gotta celebrate, you gotta win. Da, da, da. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm really happy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Doesn't mean I
Yes.
have to throw a party every time. Doesn't mean I have what. Hey, as long as you're happy, as long as you're doing the thing. But that's how I cope. I just try to balance everything out on severity, right? Even when when
Yeah.
something happens bad, oh my gosh, you're not worried? Yeah, of course I'm worried. Well, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
There's some things that are out of our control, and there's just nothing to do. We gotta wait until things play out and stuff like that. So again, balance for me. I thought I had something else that I'm looking at, like some ways to cope, right?
Uh-huh.
And they are all good. It is all take care of yourself, right? Because I
Yeah.
think when folks
Self-care.
get
Yeah.
stressed out, they tend to let themselves go, and
Oh,
you either
yes.
go into drugs and alcohol, and
Yeah.
you too much of that, no good. Balance, bad. Too much of anything. My kids will tell you, too much of anything will kill you. Is one of my mottos.
Yeah.
What about you, Walt? How do you cope?
No, you said it. You pretty much said everything that I was going to say. It's a balancing act, right? It's a balancing act. Life in general is a balancing act. Not being too high, not being too low, and
Yep.
finding a place to be content with the things the way that they are. That's not necessarily to say, oh, you should be happy with how things are going, but you can be in a state like, okay, hey, I have a roof over my head. I have all these different things. And you just put those things in context, and you really just look and say, okay, hey, do I have everything I need does my family have everything they need? Does my loved one, am I able to provide my company or my business? Because you might be a payroll business owner or entrepreneur, right? And so those are different things you want to think about, and you have to balance it out. Like, you need to be able to find time for the work that you do, and also need to be able to find time for yourself and your loved ones, and taking those time outs, taking those moments to smell the coffee or smell the flowers or whatever you're into smelling. So
No
you have
doubt.
to take the time to do those things, and really find time to break away from the distractions.
Yes.
And sometimes one of the things that I try to do sometimes is I try not to do so much scrolling, because you
Yeah.
are getting a lot of information,
Yep.
and we live in the information world
Yep.
now, and we could pick up our phones and get an alert about something that happened across seas in a different continent, in a different country, and all this information is coming at us. So sometimes it's okay to detach yourself
Yep.
and just focus in on the present and the now. And for me, so that's what helps me, is just sometimes just shutting out the noise, turning my
Mhm.
phone on silent, not watching TV, and just meditating, reading, jumping in the shower, taking a nice long shower, whatever it is for you that you need to do to be able to cope with life. You have to find outlets in order to do that.
There you go. Yep.
Find those
Healthy ones.
outlets,
Healthy ones.
healthy outlets,
Yep.
like you said,
Healthy habits.
healthy habits, because
Yep.
a lot of us that work in payroll and HR, we're sedentary. We sit a
Mhm.
lot. We sit, and so we may have a standing desk, but we usually sit, and so that we're not moving. So if you work from home, or even if you work at the office, go outside for 5 or 10 minutes.
Take walks. Yeah.
Take a walk. Like,
Yep.
get some sunshine on you. There's scientific studies that show that
Yeah.
getting sunlight helps your
Yes.
mindset.
Your moods.
Those
Yeah.
are just some of the things that you could do to help yourself, and to help yourself, like, cope with these life full of distractions, man. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I know it's a good topic. It's a good one. Yeah. What was I gonna say? The sun. Yeah. I knew someone that had a sunlight at their desk.
Oh,
Yeah. Artificial sunlight.
oh, nice.
She had it for different reasons, but they have things like that. If you're like in an office that's not by the window or something, like, you know what I mean? If you're in an office period, you're probably sitting too much. To get a standing desk. When I was in the office, I stood all day long. It made me appreciate sitting more. Like when lunchtime came, oh my gosh, it was great. I sat down and ate, and I enjoyed the lunch hour more. You know what I mean? Same. So again, balancing things out. Yeah, I think we've done a safe talk on this.
Yeah, we have.
And just to tell you, elaborate more on what Walt was saying. We used to do separately safe talk and news pod. It just got too much, and we folded it into our normal shows. So when you go to the website, it's about payroll.io. 2 great hosts, 2 great shows. So we've made it just the 2 shows. And we worked the news in the beginning, right? And then we're going to end with a safe conversation, whether it be about finding a job or things like that, the distractions in life. And it's so easy to get distracted in our world, right? The phone, the scrolling. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. I remember when I discovered TikTok, I was on it for 4 hours straight. And it was just crazy. I offset my scrolling with I try to make it good info. Like I'm learning things as well. I have my nonsense too, but it's my algorithm is a nice balanced approach of fun and work, or learning rather. It's not really work. I just like learning stuff. So yeah, it's just at the end of the day, how do we deal with it all? I think balance is key, right? Both take that approach at not getting too high, don't get too low. What do you guys do?
And I think, yes. And I think this works because even when you're looking for a job, you may have bills piling up. Mm-hmm. You may have this piling up. Mm-hmm. All this may be going on. These things are happening. But
that's right.
Yes, you will have to address those things. If you allow your mind to be clouded with everything that's going on in life, it might distract you from putting your all in the interview, putting all in your prep. Putting all into the things that we listed that could help you in your journey in payroll or HR or whatever you're into. So those are things to consider. Like life is full of distractions. And I just wanted to let you know that you are capable of doing this. Isn't your first rodeo in life. Starting off, you may have been through other things in life, and this too shall pass. But like Brian said, don't get too high, don't get too low. Focus on the now.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, if you focus on the little things that you can change and you can improve upon, you'll see that ripple effect in your life.
Yeah, yes. Amen. Yep, perfect. Thanks for joining us today. Till the next time, we love you. Have a good one.